Hello, I'm back. Now that I've covered production and transmission orders for Space 1999, I think this is a good time to examine the differences between the two seasons. First, overall tone. Season 1, 1975-76 is serious, atmospheric, and often philosophical. Stories frequently focus on isolation, survival, humanity's place in the universe, and mysterious alien phenomena. The pacing is slower and more deliberate, closer in spirit to 2001 A Space Odyssey than later action-oriented sci-fi television. Season 2, 1976-77, shifted towards faster-paced adventure and more conventional action sci-fi. Episodes became more character-driven and energetic, with more aliens, monsters, space battles, and colourful settings. The tone is lighter and more accessible, influenced partly by the popularity of shows like Star Trek and the appointment of Fred Freeberger. Then there's the cast. For Season 1, the core cast comprised Martin Landau as Commander John Koenig, Barbara Bain as Dr. Helena Russell, and Barry Morse as Professor Victor Bergman. By the start of Season 2, Professor Bergman, along with supporting characters Paul Morrow and David Cano, had disappeared without explanation after their actors left the series. In addition, two new main characters were introduced, Catherine Schell as the shape-shifting alien Maya, and Tony Anholt as Security Chief Tony Verdeshi. Maya became one of the defining elements of Season 2 because of her transformation abilities. The two seasons also had different visual styles. Season 1 had a cooler colour palette, a minimalist, realistic moon-based alpha design, slower camera work and cinematic lighting, and a strong influence from serious 1970s science fiction films. Season 2 had brighter lighting and costumes, more colourful alien worlds and creatures, increased action sequences, and more television adventure styling. Storytelling was also different between the two. The tone shifted from serious and cerebral to adventurous and energetic. Themes went from existential sci-fi to action and character drama. Aliens became more frequent and varied. The pacing quickened. The orchestral and eerie music was replaced with tunes that were more dramatic and action-orientated. And the emphasis on scientific realism often became secondary to adventure. The changes between the two seasons also shifted fan reception. Season 1 was often praised for ambitious storytelling, atmosphere, production design, and mature science fiction concepts, although some viewers find it cold or slow. Season 2 was praised for more entertainment value, greater humour and energy, Maya's character, and faster pacing. However, some critics sometimes argue it lost the unique identity that made Season 1 distinctive. Among long-time sci-fi fans, Season 1 is usually regarded as the more artistically respected version of Space 1999. However, many viewers prefer Season 2 because it is easier to watch casually and contains more straightforward adventure stories. A common comparison is Season 1 is thoughtful, hard sci-fi, whereas Season 2 is colourful space adventure. As for the best-known episodes, Season 1 highlights are Breakaway, Dragon's Domain, Black Sun, and The Testament of Arcadia, while Season 2 highlights are The Metamorph, The Beta Cloud, Devil's Planet, and Dorzak. Now that's done, I can move on to the timeline of Mubain Alpha's journey. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to like, share, subscribe and comment, and I'll be back soon.